Hey everybody, Weston here with the Hidden Gibbon, and today I wanted to talk about something that I've mentioned a few times in my videos. Fair warning, throughout this video, you're going to see some old grainy pictures because it was the mid-2000s. I'm of course talking about the time when I sold my collection. Now, I can't remember exactly what year it was, but when I was young, right, like I've mentioned before, I used to play Magic. It got me all of my friends. It kept my friends together. And I even got to the point where I was grinding out Legacy. To this day, I still keep a Legacy 12 post deck together in the hopes that maybe someday I'll be able to play Paper Legacy again, maybe at a tournament or something. But as the years went on and friends started moving away, Mitch moved away, my friend Dewey moved away, the core group that would go to tournaments just kind of fell out of it. Just didn't have a lot of folks to play Magic with for a while, and I had a job that was pretty miserable. I had to work all of the time, lots of overtime. It was not a fun job, lots of stress, and I didn't have a good outlet. And I also wasn't making very much money. And that brought me to a point where I told myself, I'm like, what's the point of having these if I don't get to play? It was kind of bringing me more sadness than it was joy at that point, right? Like, I would look at my Magic cards and I would kind of see regret and loss rather than see the cards and the wonderful things that brought me so much happiness and joy. And that happens from time to time. And so I sold my collection. And I had quite a few good cards at the time, right? I'll be putting throughout the video some just kind of cycling through some video or some pictures. I had duels, lots of duels actually. The ones in the pictures aren't actually all of them, because some were in decks. I had, I remember I had a big pile of Wheel of Fortunes about that thick, which they weren't the super expensive cards that they are now, right? I had candelabras for my 12 post deck, but the cards that I remember the most, the ones that really I loved were my altars. I used to be so into altars, and I'll start putting those ones up around here. I would go on eBay and I'd buy pretty much any altar I could get my hands on. I had Stoneforge Mystics. I had a Devastation Tide, which for those of you who don't know, it's kind of like a all-sided Psych Rift. It returns all non-land permanents to their owner's hands, and it has Miracle. I had an Azami, some Doran Siege Towers, right? A Hypergenesis. I had some Yoshi Sakura Tribe Elders, which my friend Jason will tell you that he will never forgive me because I had 4 and a person at a tournament wanted 1, and I parted with 1 rather than with all 4. So it stuck down to 3. I had a Thirst for Knowledge with a link on it. I had a Domo Rancor, right? Like those were fun. Wraths, Iona, Wild and the Cattle, some of the swords, but those altars were beautiful. Oh, and one of the crossovers, right, is I hate my mental health, so I play League of Legends, and I even had a Karthus Tyrant of Jund that was altered to be Karthus, and so many other things. Like my favorite land in all of Magic is the APAC Kangaroo Plains, and I had that. Swords to Plowshares. And then I had my Legacy deck. I had Primeval Titans that were altered to the 4 seasons. It had winter, spring, summer, and fall. Tops, which were snowy. what do you call it? Sorry. The basic lands, like a squirrel, all of my Eldrazi, my Emrakul's, my Kozilek, those were all altered to have extended out borders. Consecrated Sphinx, Platinum Empyrean, Karn Liberated, my Eye of Ugin were all altered. My Ulamog, my All Is Dusts, my Crucible of Worlds, my Chalice of Voids, those were altered as well. And I just had so many fun cards that were altered and so many things. And I ended up selling, and I sold for, I think it was like somewhere between 4 and 6. I can't remember. It was during a low time, right? It was before the I'm gonna call it the COVID boom, when investors started just like using Magic as an investment vehicle really heavily, which drove up a lot of the reserve list prices. And I'm sure today, if I sold my collection, since I had like 30 duels and, like I said, a stack like this thick of Wheel of Fortunes and Candelabras and other really, really expensive cards, that, you know, it would be a financial windfall to sell those nowadays. But that isn't the point. I don't care about the money. I'll be honest with you. One of the things I regret most in my entire life, I've made a lot of terrible decisions in my life, but one of the things that I regret the most is that I sold my Magic cards. I'm like starting to tear up just even thinking about it, right? Like, there were so many cards with so many memories that I loved. Cards that I owned from the time where I was just a kid first collecting, right? Like the Silver Seraph that I told you about, that was still in my collection. I think I was running that in my original Mangara of Corondor deck, right? Cards that I ripped out of packs back in Future Sight, in Kamigawa, cards that, like, yeah, I could buy them again on a store, but I just loved them. Like Goblin Snowman, trash card, but I love that card. And I don't have those anymore, right? Like, they're gone. And even if I reorder, like the generic cards that I had, right? Like, if I get my Humilities back, if I get the duels back, if I get the Candelabras back, or things like that, like, in terms of just reordering another copy, it's still not the same as those cards. And with the altars, I can never get those back. I doubt that anyone who now owns those altars, if they're not destroyed somewhere, would even see this video to be like, hey, I own some of these now. Like, and it would be great if they're in a wonderful, like, home where those cards are, like, played with and enjoyed, and not just sitting on a shelf somewhere or in a trash somewhere or a landfill at this point. But man, if I ever found any of those again, I would financially irresponsibly snap those up again. And I'm just like, right now, like, while I'm talking to y'all, I'm looking through this and I'm just looking at all the cards I had, and this isn't even all of them. It was pages upon pages upon pages and binder upon binder of cards. And I think I had, like, yeah, I have 4 pictured here, but I'm pretty sure I had like 8 Ancient Tombs, a whole bunch of Urborgs, like everything. And I'm just sitting here, and I won't ever be able to get those all back, right? Like, I'm a working class person with not the most glamorous day job in the world. My wife and I work hard, and we try to do the best to provide for our daughter. That's where our money goes, is making sure that she has a good life. And so I've kind of made my peace with that. I'll never own some of these cards again. is what it is. That's why I advocate heavily for proxying, because I know that if I'm working my job and I can't afford all the duels and things like that, I know there's lots of people out there, and I have it better than a lot of people, and they can't afford it. And I know that there's plenty of people out there who feel just like I do, who've sold their collection, and when they sold their collection, it ended up being a huge regret. And sometimes you don't get the choice, right? Sometimes you need the money. Sometimes, those good memories become sad memories for you, where you think about like lost friends or the happy times you used to have that you don't anymore. And pretty much, yeah. But the lesson out of this, though, is that this has made me appreciate Magic so much more. Back in the day when I had all of those cards, right? Like, I kind of took Magic for granted. I had a solid core collection because I had been playing for so long. I had managed to collect for so long. I got in when the prices were good. Like, I remember when the expensive dual land was Underground Sea at like 60 or 50 bucks. And now, you look at the prices for some of those cards, and I just appreciate it more because I just don't have that massive collection. I have a really big and extensive collection, but it's not the same, right? Like, I don't have those really powerful reserve list cards. I have a couple, but for example, I don't own a single Wheel of Fortune. Card's like $400. I can't justify $400 for a single card. Dual lands, somewhere between like $400 and $600 or $800, depending on what they are. I can't justify that. I would love to have candelabras again for my 12 post deck, but they're $1,000 plus a piece. Can't justify that. But what I can do is I can take the collection that I have, which it's by no means a small collection. I feel like past me would be very proud of the collection that I have, and I don't think, unless there was no other choice, I don't think I would ever part with my cards again. Like, and that's part of like why I do what I do with my decks, right? Like my Shroom deck. Shroom and Sen's Triplets was a commander deck that I had back when I had all of those cards, right? Janara, Mael. Those are all commanders that I used to have. I would love to rebuild Ith, High Arcanist, and Timorilin Lumia, and the Green Omnath, and all of those. And that's what I plan on doing. Is essentially making things within my budget when I can. But yeah, just appreciate the cards that you have. You don't know what you're missing until it's gone, right? And at this point in time in my life, like, I don't think I would ever sell again, like I said, unless I absolutely had to, right? Like, unless there was a dire need, I don't think I would sell, because my plan at this point is to hold on to these cards. And if my daughter, when she's old enough, wants to play, I want to teach her. And sappy moment for you, right? Is like, you see those posts on Reddit. It's like, hey, my dad left me these cards, or my grandpa. That's what I want to do for my daughter, right? Like, is if she wants to play the game, I want to be able to be like, all right, honey, I'm going to teach you how to play this. I've got these cards, and I appreciate what I have so much more now because of what I did have and what I lost, right? Because of my decision to just not play anymore. And sorry that this one's kind of rambling on. It's just a big memory lane. If you'd like let me know down in the comments. Have you ever had to make this tough decision too? If so, what was it that pushed you into that decision? Do you regret the decision? If you could get back all those cards that you had before, would you? Would you snap buy them up? Would you snap lock, drop the money on them, or would you? Are you okay with what you have today? And let me know what you think. You feel free to tell me an idiot for selling out in the comments below. If you want to share some memories, put those down. Some of your favorite memories with your collection. If you want to, yeah. Well, I thank you all for watching, and this has been Weston being really sappy, and you know that kind of like that 1,000-mile stare moment where you're just like remembering your past and being nostalgic. I thank you for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.